this one's been a long time coming. What I have here right in front of me is BurrNova 3D, otherwise known as Magnetic Madness. This was designed, I believe, and I know I covered this in another video, I believe 2018. It was entered into the IPP. I think there's less than a dozen of them out there, just because of the people I know that still don't have one, and how high up they usually are on the list. I don't know if it is. Anyways, but as you can see here, wow. And just looking through the sides of it, you see that it's got a lot going on in there. It's pretty big. I've got big hands. You can see here this side, all the sides you see is like cut and arch steps inside over here, and then on the face. Alright, and we got our Princess Ariel trapped, Bloodwood here, you know, nice, throughout here and everything too. Really nice Bloodwood, walnut and mahogany, and then maple. Alright, the only maple puzzles all own. And it's a beast, it's a big one. This one, hopefully he'll return to them. It is a lot of work to make though. This is over 40 pieces. Part of the dread of me making this video for so long. I've had this thing for like 6 months. It's mine. But let's go ahead and solve it. The first thing and the only thing that you're able to move on this when you first get it, I mean, you can poke around and prod at it forever, is going to be the key piece in the center. It'll go down like that. It's just so smooth, like butter. Now once it's in, you can push on a burr piece, which I've forgotten which one it is. There it is now, and it'll go through 15 steps. That's because there are 8 burr pieces. So we got 4 going through here, 2 going through here, and 2 going through here, all the way to the other side. So that's 8. They all moved twice, but you moved one of them yourself when you pushed in the burr piece down here to activate it all. Now that noise, that scares people, and they usually drop these and then they hate their life. You can also reset it pretty easily by finding none of them move. Like none of these pieces move except for one. That one right there. And once that's pushed in, you're able to move another piece, which is usually, I don't know if Jerry did this on purpose, and I tried to ask him, but I don't think he understood what I was asking. Is I push in one, the next one you need to push is usually in the webbing of your hand, kind of like in a weird spot. See how that is? So there's 1, 2, 3, and it's always a face and a side. And there it is in a weird spot. 4, 5, 6, and there's a reason I'm counting these, because eventually you'll just get to the end, right? But there's a reason we count them. 7, I think. Nope, it's not that one. Oh, there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I miscounted, but still, there you go. That finally goes in all the way. There's 1. There's 1. They start to snap in finally. There's 1. Oh yeah, this one, that one, that. Oh, and I let up, so it jumped back a few steps. Don't go easy on it. You gotta hold it in tight. So you have to do the 8 moves again, or the 8 burrs again. All right, where you at? There we go. Now I'm just going to fly through it because you guys get the gist. They are very powerful magnets. Activating all of this. This is all just magnets. No springs or anything. So for him to have thought of a way to make these burrs like automate and work, but he did use a technique that made that actually feasible, and I'll show that to you once we get it open. There we go. And let's see here. He told me, and that's Jerry, the creator, Jerry McFarland, that of the few people that have these, only like a couple, including me, have shown him that they've actually solved it. He says he believes most people just do what I'm doing right now for you guys, which is this one out. There we go. Which is just popping it and then resetting it. Because I'll be honest, after you go through that whole thing of like smashing down the magnets and holding it and death gripping it while you move through, it's hard on the hands. That's really the only hard thing about it. So let's do it again. More of this is less hard and more building, you know, the assembly. So we know now that once you push that, everything's out. All right, it pops all the stuff out, all the bloodwood. Now, the only thing you can really do, nothing is moving here other than the bloodwood pieces, and only one at a time. So logic dictates that one step along the path is going to be the key, i.e. the lock, unlocking this. So to figure that out, you really just got to go through one at a time until it splits apart. And the magic number here is the midway point, 8. So we will do 8 steps. Oh, this one, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold it tight. 6, 7, 8. And on that 8th one, you can now, you see the key piece that's been kind of like that's its limit. You can, it doesn't feel like it wants to, but it goes right out at this point. And now you've taken the key out of the actual, so hold on, let me undo that because that just snaps back. Now we have the key piece, and as you can see, it's kind of a maze, but it's not a maze you control. This is all incredibly well grooved in. Let's get a close-up of that. JM 2018 serial number 6. So this was the 6th one made, and this here is distinguishable from this side here. So there you go. That's the key that was holding it all together. Now that it's popped out, doesn't really matter. She's going to be the last thing you get to, so you're going to want to start on the top. And now that the maze has been done, see here. Yep, there we go. Very strong magnets. There we go. That comes out, and that piece comes out of it too. But no point in taking them apart. This piece slides out too. Same deal, 2 pieces. And then what you have is some madness starting to form inside. You got your blockers. This says 5 up. So we want to keep all of our directions correct. This is 1 up. So it'd be 1. This has 1 here, so this here would be 2. This is 5 up. Then over here is 3 and 2. And then here, now that we've released that, these backers come out. Just keep them together. And you see, now you know why people make a big deal out of this thing. Look at all the stuff that's going on inside. And these are all burr pieces. and they're magnetized and they're stepped. So as you can see here, there's step 1, 2, 3. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, the bars are neatly positioned into those steps. So when it automates, it goes up the steps until it lets it all out. Now, important thing to note at this point, we're going to write it down. We're going to take the princess's face and face her towards us. Okay, that's going to be our direction that we are kind of tracking here, where 1's at the top. And then you're going to want to write down, because it's in the booklet that he gives, but this is part of puzzling, what the orientation of all these notches, the burr pieces are, because that's going to be the hard one to figure out, because even with the book it's tricky. They all are numbered facing up, I know that much. So we will have 4 posts going vertically, right? And then we also have the 2 posts right now at the top going horizontally. So we'll do it like this and say top and top. And we know that this one here is 1 and this one here is 5. So not really in the same position as the cage. All right. And now what we need to do is remove what is in here to block it. So I'm not sure if I can do it yet. Let me see here. It's been a minute since I've done this. I've been away from it. Now I do know that there are 3 independent setups here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 down here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 down here. So they work in a way where if you push this down, one can slide over, and then it lets the other one move that whole thing. So let me figure it out real quick. I purposefully waited to do this one a while because I knew, here it is. I remember. So it's not about the burrs. You have these little wooden walnut clips in here. They were added later. When you bring them up, there is a walnut like bracket inside holding these burr pieces up, and it's magnetically attracted. It's very hard to pull apart. So you have to pull up a side here, right, to give it room, and then stick your finger in and pull it apart, and then match that on this side, and then use your finger then to spread them both apart, right? And then once they're both spread apart like this, you can take out these pieces. Now, let's see so we don't get lost. 5 and 1. I pulled this out of here, so we're going to put it over here. And I pull this one out on this one here, on this side. There we go. And that's a 3. And that's going to then allow those to fall out, snap back together, and we should be able to now I think I need to spread these again and pull this piece out as well. So let's do that. It's been a hot minute since I've done this one. There's so much to it that it's an endeavor when you decide to solve it.
3 hours later.
He's so evil. I used to have a method for this. I'll have to. There we go. We got it again. Woo. Okay. Now, I've spun it around. So this is 3. It goes over there. And there is 1. Goes here. And now that we got those out, we can actually remove the burr pieces here. All right. So this is the one bar we drew as the top. Let's put it right here for right now. And then here, push down. Actually, I think we push that up. And this. And you just slide it out. All right, and that is the 5. And now in the center, remember the walnut divider I was talking about. This thing is magnetized to itself. This was added later. Jerry put this in to give it another like phase, because pretty to the point. I mean, the only real like locking puzzle to solve here is the actual button pressing. It's like a push button burr, and then it's taking it apart. Taking it apart is very tricky, because you have to figure out, but that's because he added in all this walnut stuff. If he hadn't added in this walnut with the divider and everything, we would have just been pulling pieces out of here. So very cool. And now we got to make sure we get these out in the right order as well. Now we can pull out these pieces now, the walnuts. And now that we've got the top layer, these burrs will act like how I've been doing them. One pushes down, the other slides out, that kind of thing. So in, right? And then this one goes in, and that allows this one to slide out. Okay? And this one is, it says 9, but it's a 6 upside down. And it's got its oh, it's 6 on this side the right way up. I don't know why. Okay, so 6 facing out. That's top right. And then the bottom bar comes out, and that's a 7. So we draw a bar across here, and that's a 7. We put a bottom here, B for bottom. And that makes this one here an 8. Yeah. And look at these. Now they take a beating, I won't lie. Like you see in here, there's lots of nicks and bangs here, even reinforced with harder woods inside, because they're in there just going off. So when you get it apart, it says that you want to go over the magnets of these and make sure there's no chips on them from banging into each other. Because if there's a chip in the magnet, it'll stop the mechanism. And then we do the same thing to this side. Right? Push that in. Push that over. This piece slides right up. And then this is the bottom left, and it is burr number 2. And they're all up and visible. That's how you know where to put them. And that makes this one 3. 3 on the bottom. And then we got 1 left, number 4. Now, let's marvel at the work a little bit here. I mean, there's a magnet here. We have our strike plates here, which I think might be like ebony because it's harder. There's a magnet in it right here. It has the burr notch. There's a magnet there. Here and here. It's engraved. So what are we looking at? On one burr piece alone, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magnets to make it do this automated action. Like, how do you even think like that? I think some of this is like some Renaissance wax. But yeah, this is just one of them. And as you can see, they've got these notches on them. That's how they're stepping through their automated pattern. One will move, it'll move, you know, it'll go over the next level, pushing the next one over, and it goes in a cycle. So I've numbered them all, right? Because that would break my heart if I, oh, yeah, no, I got them all numbered. Now all we have left is to save the princess, the cage here, right, so to speak. This isn't that deep at this point. So let me remember real quick. I'm pretty sure it might just pop apart. Let me pop these guys out because these are obviously, there it goes, brackets holding it together. And so you got your 1 and your 5 here on the bottom, which we've already gotten to the princess now. We have our, 4, 3. You'll see a pattern here. 2 and then 3, right? And then these are all been ones. So you got 1D for down. You got the one here, the one here. And watch, I'm gonna forget how this thing assembles. That's why I'm keeping some of the pieces together. You got your 7s over here. And then it goes 6, and I don't know if that's an 8 or something. The actual lettering of the cage has always been a bit of a mystery to me. But it all comes apart. All these pieces do. And then you'll notice it uses these special types of joineries here, where if you like forget and try to put it this way and get it wrong, it won't fit. If you put it like this, you won't have the gap. It has to be perfect so it makes a right square right there for notches to go into. And then you might have seen her spill out a little bit. A lot of people call him a sick man for this one. Ariel, Little Mermaid, is in here. That's our princess, and she is in pieces. She has been sanded to make her head fit inside, on the back and sides here. Her arms have been removed, and her little lower half. So you can put her back together if you feel the need. There she is. She's happy now. Oops. Yep. And there she is in the middle. I feel like some people will want to see a rebuild. I might make it 2 videos. But anyways, what are my thoughts? I mean, I love Jerry. Look at this stuff, man. This is just crazy. Look at all this. There's 46 pieces or something here. And all the craftsmanship, the work, the beauty of it all. These insane burr pieces with magnets galore and steps and the bloodwood. All refined, hidden pockets everywhere. There's not just the 2 pockets that hold her. There's 2 pockets at the top, too. And then he went back in there and added all the walnut pieces. And I've got BurrNova 2, which came before this. So it started the whole magnetic run. And it's different. This is more like fidget burr on crack, right? This is Save the Princess, giant assembly, automated burring. The chaos factor that basically explodes in your hands when you first set it off. The maze that operates itself, right? So very, very cool. Let's put it this way. I won't probably have my entire Jerry collection forever. I'm a poor person. But I will always have a big Jerry. And either like this or a BurrNova, right? Because this one here is just a beast. I've done it many times, and even then I have to get in here and think about it for a moment to get it all apart. And then reassembling it. Like the more and more I sit here and talk and don't start reassembling, the worse off I'm going to be. Super treat. I mean, not a lot of people get to experience this one, and I feel bad. Hopefully this way you get to, see what one is like. Most people consider taking a burr apart to be the real thing there, so hopefully that gave you a lot. With all of his burrs, he sands them as a whole, so you'll know you have the right stuff together when the seams line up nicely. Alright, that's and this will be on the bottom. So this is the 8, 7, 8. So he's counting them in a circle is how that gets to 8. 5 up, and then we got to have our 1 down here. And I believe I might have to pull it apart again to get it locked into place. It is easy to lose pieces with this one. Now the 2 is upright here. The 8 was a bit of a mystery because an 8 can be an 8 whenever it wants to be. Well, this looks like this has to go this way, so maybe the 2 is upside down, which is odd. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and there we go. And it's not holding itself together. That's the job of these guys. So we have the 2 here. It's a 1 and a 5. There's 1, there's 5. Now you want to make sure you get the sides that are lacquered downward or waxed, finished, you know. Okay, that's going to make it more stable. And then now we need to put in our princess. So 5 down is over here, and this is where her head sticks out through the box. So let's do that. Poor creature. Alright, so we put her back in like that. And that's how we know we're missing something there. I believe it's going to be one of these guys. Let's see here. 5D. Let's go make sure. See how it's not fitting? That means it's not right. Oh wait, I think that was these guys. Who's this? 1 and 1. We having some fun in the bedroom all day. There we go. That's how that goes. Now how do we get... I told you there'd be some redoing parts. Now this has to hold her body and her arms, and there's actually a bit cut inside of it just for her tail to fit. Like Jerry don't take shortcuts. Alright, so now I have to figure out how to get that in there. I believe it will be before this. Told you I'd be redoing that. And the tricky part here is getting it all to balance right now without a lock and without her body parts falling out, because that's tricky as well. So let's get her head in here. And we also need to make the other cross section piece here. That's this. So it's this way facing out. And then here we go. This should match. No, this is like 3. 1, 3, 5. So we need 5, the 5 bar. Those are the brackets. That's the 7 bar. Here's the 5 bar. And they go up top because that makes a square. So what I mean by that is the bars are at the top. Okay. There we go. And yes, I was singing a 2 Live Crew song a second ago. I wonder if this is correct, but we're going to go with it for now. There's that body being a bastard. Your body is a bastard. Okay. We're going to go in and push her torso into her pocket there. There we go. That's the trick. There we go. There. We finally, now we have our cage somewhat together, even though I forgot to put these in. I believe these go the other way, upside down, but how am I going to do that now? Oh my goodness, always redoing stuff. And that's the beauty of like this and quad lock especially. Like if you're not paying really good attention while you're piecing it together, yeah, you'll be redoing stuff. I am tripping. How did those get? Do we need loose? Oh, I know what's going on. Okay. Pull these out. And we make a mess of the body parts. Oh my goodness. I'll be honest, I solved it multiple times when I first got it. It took me about 3 days. And I had a system for all of this. Because it all literally requires a system. That's the beauty and the madness of his designs. Alright, so we're going to go down in here. And then it's kind of all downhill from here. As long as I get the burrs back in right. Okay, now we need the other bar. And we're going low, so that way. This way all the sticks are aligned with each other when they go around in a circle. And you can also make squares for everything to match up. So this is your look. This is the look you want. Okay. All right, let's get back to business here. See how things are just sliding right off as I move it around? There's nothing holding this stuff together right now. Okay. Now, before I make a mess of it again. All right, there we are. Now let's find the right piece. 5 down, 1 down. 1 down's over here. And that just slides in. And then here's 5 down. We're just going to slide that bastard in there. And we were missing the bottom. Okay. So this one is 3. You got to remember the sides are going to be facing outward, so you know where your lacquer is. It's times like these I question my life choices. All right. Okay, there we go. There we go. Put this side in. Oh, that's 5 up. Never mind. I'm losing my mind right now. We need this bad boy in here. Okay, 7. Nothing wrong, nothing to see here. There we go. Okay, the cage is together the proper way. Oh my goodness. It's so hard when I can't like look over it and see down into it. I usually look straight down on this while I do it. Let me kind of fix that. Okay. Now, we're going to put her body back in. So we have our 1 down. Now remember what we have to do. We have to push it with the bar right away so we don't lose the shit in the middle. So 1. It's not this one though, is it? 1 and 5. They got it like, oh, there they are. Okay. Okay. So it's this one. We're going to come in here very gently. Like a game of operation. We're going to come down low. We're going to push in. Ah, we trapped her in there. Perfect. All right. Now we need the bar for this one. I was about to mess it up. There's 5. Her head, because it's been shaved to fit in the box, is not an issue. It will just plop down in there. And then we got to get our bracket. Oh! Okay. First part done. Positioning the princess back. and making the frame stable-ish. Now, what we have to do is rebuild the burrs into here up to the main level, then put the walnut parts back in, put the top burr pieces in, and apply the top of the cage. 8 is here though, and 8 would be visible. Let's make it outside. So this is 6, and I said it was upside down. And that means it goes this way. And see, if you see here, this is how they work, like this. So when they magnetize like that, that's their stable position. All right, so that's like that. And then we have 8, which should be the inverse. Yep. So put 8 in first. Doesn't seem right though. 7 wants to go in at an angle now. 7 going like this. No, because you want all the pins to face inward because of the burr mechanism. The maze. Normally we have to push down. There's just this pin right here that's kind of like screwing it up. And I feel like that's blocking it for a reason. Let's see here. That's definitely where that goes. But the question is, oh, we come in this direction. There we go, dirt. Okay. So now, see, just simple things that I can get dumb about. And then we want 6, right? And 6 is facing up, so it's going to be stepped. So we push in, push over, and this should go right down. And then that locks with it sticking out. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so we know 4 is over here, 2's over here, and 3 goes across. 3's got a pin, the 3's got to be face up, the 4 is going to be visible in the 2. So these 2 go together like this, and those 2 go together like that. You know, it seems to have no magnetic attraction between them. Maybe we got upside down. Nope, that's it. Maybe from this direction. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. So again, we need to, let's see. So 1 pushes in. To let 1 pass. I'm trying to remember which one's going to let it through. It was this one, so it's going to be this one, the opposite direction. Yep. All right. And then we got to come in the opposite side so we don't have the pin become an issue. There we go. There it snaps. And then here at the top, we've got the 2. We're going to push in, push over, not too far. And then we're going to look for the 2. Face it inward. There we go. So now they're in there. We got our burr pieces in. And you can put these in wrong and it will still assemble. And then what will happen is when you hit the button to activate the automatic burring, it'll maybe do like 4 steps. And then you have to hit that button, it'll do the rest. So nothing crazy. You'll just know that it's off then when it behaves that way. And then it will be a different number to unlock the whole thing, which makes it kind of a new puzzle, really. All right, so we do have pieces here, I think, that needed to go in. And God, I hope they go in still. Oh yeah, because it was all part of the pulling the walnuts apart. So yeah, this comes in out. Actually, these came out before the walnut, if you remember correctly. All right, so what do we have left? We have the top, right, which we have this one too, which this should be this. Yeah, 5. Should be right. Oh, dirt. Okay. So we have these. We got our clips and the clip pieces that go with them. We got our top blocks, right? And then we have our top brackets. Okay. And then we have our 2 chunky bar sides here. So now is the time to put the walnut in. And the walnut, if you remember correctly, had to spread apart to let these out. So it goes back in just like that. And it's got to be spread again to let everything out. So we want to do the steps in reverse order on this part. So we spread it apart and we put our 3 back in. And I believe, yeah, it goes out. Oh, bedtime. There's the 3. And here's the 7. It goes across from it, killing my finger. And you're going to put it in so that it teeth outward. Okay, so now we have this. And if you look on the sides, everything's flush. Okay. I think before this, well, I guess I could have put these in. I didn't have to do it that way. I got to put these back in as well. And these, I don't believe, are numbered. I don't think they actually matter which side is which. They just snap down in there. Maybe, or maybe. Oh, yep, they do matter. They're just only magnetic the right way. Okay. So we got that. And you can just slide these apart and slide them down. So that makes that a whole hell of a lot easier. You can lift up on these now to close the walnut back up, to then put the brackets in. I believe. I could be just tripping right now. Interesting. So these got to go in now in their proper spots. And I've done turned it around so many times. Let's see. Okay, so this is 1 over here, which makes this 7. Well, why isn't the walnut closing? See, it closes. That's what it's supposed to do. Oh, because I got to turn sideways. Dirt. Oh. This thing will make you feel silly and dumb at times. There we go. Now it's easier when you have it all open because you can use 2 fingers to just spread it. And now we just got to remember which one's which. Let's see. This is this 1, so that makes this 7. Just slide this piece down in there like that, and we just slide this 3 piece down in there like that, which we got to push a little bit because the bar is sliding. There we go. Now it's back. And now all we have to do is add the final burr pieces. Ooh, which isn't going to be easy, but hey, let's see here. There we go. Okay. Let's get our little diagram back out and see where we're at. So we have 4 here and 6 there. And that, yep, okay, so puts her head there. So 5 goes here and 1 goes here. How? I'm so afraid that I turned the 6 backwards. Like, how does that work? Like that. Well, I should have a better diagram, huh? Let's try 1. Let's see here. This one's correct. So let's see here. Not sure how to get the pieces to move the way I need. I think I was supposed to put this bracket stuff in last. It's kind of like blocking the path now. Down, over, up. Okay, now it's flat. This will help things fit. Okay, so 6 in the corner. 1 goes here. Just need it to go, yeah. Let's see here. Move that up. There we go. That's the secret. Oh, no. There we go. Okay, so that one's in. The 1 bar. And if I match this, I do have this one backwards. I wonder if there's a way for me to get it out here. Yes. Okay. Whoa! Okay. Now we need to put the 5 in. This guy come up high enough to let it. There we go. Set this back in. All right, now we're back in the game. We do need to go back to this step of splitting the walnut. Think about how easy this would actually be to work within if this walnut spacer wasn't there. He knew what he was doing when he added that piece in, because it adds a ton of extra puzzling and dexterity and steps and problem solving. I can just get my finger to pull it up. Having huge hands is not always a blessing. We're going to do the thumb method again. Alright, we got that piece locked. Now, spread. It's so difficult. Alright. And like I said, I used to have a real foolproof method for this, but that's what happens when you wait months to film something just so that you can kind of solve it a little bit in front of people. So I felt like just going through the solves were getting boring. So why not watch me struggle a little bit?
Three hours later.
There. When you do it right and you know what you're doing, everything just plops right in. There we go. Whoa. So now we just got to put the top parts on. So this is the one up, just like that. This is the one up box. It goes just like this. You have your 5 up here and your 5 up. And then you have your 2 sets of spacers. And they're the bit that holds it all together in the end. I got it kind of, there we go. Whoa. Yeah, everything had to kind of like pop into place there for it to finalize. And then to do the final bit, you have to do the 8 steps to get the key piece back in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and then this lines up because of the single notch, and you know that the 4 notches on the face. And this is always like nerve-wracking. There you go. Now you got to go 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Where you at? Oh, in my hand. There. And 59, 58, 59, 1 hour on my timer here. I tell everybody this thing takes me an hour every time. Boy, there you go. That is the BurrNova 3D. And if you want to make sure you put it back together right, first off, check all of your bevels and make sure they line up, and then push this bad boy in. And it just did all 15 moves. Otherwise, it would stop along the way. So, this is one of the rarest and coolest and most lore-driven puzzles that I'll ever be able to get to show you guys. There's only a handful of people that have them, and the amount of people that could do videos or will do videos on them all is even a shorter list of that. Maybe just me. So here we go. This is the infamous resetting itself BurrNova 3D because it goes in all 6 directions, most importantly vertically. The BurrNova 2D goes out the sides, kind of like the fidget burr I show you guys. It pops out the pieces around in circumference. I'll be showing that one to you guys next. I think I might have turned these around. Not a big deal though. Gives you a good excuse to take it apart and do it again later. There we go. There we go. There we go. I gotta find it. There it is. When you get close to the end of pushing these all in, they all start snapping into place. There we go. Your legs dancing in there. BurrNova 3D, guys. Ooh, when have you ever seen me use a pen and paper for a puzzle? Man, that's a workout for your hands, your mind, your spirit. And one of the coolest puzzles you will never get your hands. I'm just messing with you. But if you can get your hands on one to test it, do it. Just make sure that when you do the first move, hold it tight. Do it over your lap. Because even with me showing you, you're not going to realize how scary that is until you do it yourself the first time. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and this has been BurrNova 3D. We've made a mess of my table somehow, and I'll see you guys next time.